Okay, so this is to show y'all how to get registered for my math lab. So I'm in the college algebra one, but if you are taking my trigonometry class, when you're in your D2L, there will be a tab that says handouts. Okay, but I'm in my college algebra course right now, and so their tab is syllabus calendar and MML, which is for my math lab. And so you should see a student registration handout. And so this is the one for college algebra. So the one for trigonometry will have a different course code to it. But either way, click on it and you'll have the directions here for how to set up your account. So you'll want to go to this address here, and then what you'll have to do is you'll have to type in this course ID code. Okay. And pretty much if you read through this, it kind of talks about your options on how to pay for it and all that kind of stuff. You can get a 14-day free trial. So they make it kind of hard to see, but when you set up your account, you'll want to put in whatever, they'll ask you for an email and all that kind of stuff. Use whatever email you check most often because that's how we can communicate through this program. So you can send me questions and stuff like that. And I'm going to show you that in just a moment. So if you click on this, let's see. So it brings you to this page right here. And so if you don't have an account already, you'll go to student register here. And so then here it says, okay, register now. So you'll click on that. And then here's where you'll enter the code. Okay. So going back here for this is for college algebra. This is the one for college algebra right there, Algeo 20274. For trig, you're gonna have something a little different. So make sure you look at your handout in D2L. And so, like I said, it'll kind of put you through a process to set it up. And so, when you get to payment, you can go ahead and pay now if you want. It'll give you two options. One option's for like I think 18 weeks, and it's good. I think it's like $70. If you want to do the 2-year option, to where if you for some reason had to repeat the course, you wouldn't have to repurchase. Okay, but this code that you're going to purchase is only good for this class. So if you think, oh, okay, good, I'll use it for my next math class, it's only going to be good for this one course. So, anyways, think about that. If also you might want to contact the bookstore if you're using financial aid. I believe they're trying to make it to where you can order your access code through them and they might email it to you, or you might have to go pick it up or something. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure they're going to try to email them though. So if you're doing financial aid, you might want to look into that. Okay, so once you get it set up, it might take a couple minutes. Sometimes it can take anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes to 30 minutes for the whole thing to be up and running. But once it's up and running, you'll have a little dashboard like this. You only have one of them because unless you're taking other courses by Pearson. Um, and so here's my two courses that I'm teaching this summer right here, college algebra and trig online. So I'm going to go ahead and go into my college algebra one and kind of show you around a little bit, show you the tools on how to do your homework and stuff. So when I come in here, here's my home page. If I want to go to the book, you can click over here to chapter content and you can kind of go through the book. For both courses, I supply most of the material to where you don't really need to go through the book, but I could understand if you wanted to maybe look up a couple things, you could go through here in the book. Um, and so let's see, I'm going to go back here. So if I want to do my homework, here's homework. So I click on that. So here's my homework for college algebra. So I posted the first unit so far. Here are the due dates. I'm probably going to move those a little bit further out. I make my homework due on the day of the exam for each unit, and that's true for both courses. So whatever day is our first exam, that's what I'll move these due dates to. Now, since our testing centers are closed, we are going to have to take our exams on here. So there is the quiz and test tab. I don't have anything in there yet. I haven't posted anything yet, but that's where you'll go to take your exams. It'll look just like this. The only difference is that the test will be timed. You'll only be given an hour and 20 minutes to take your exams. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and click on one of these homework assignments so I can show you some of the tools. So here are all the questions. So this first assignment's 22 questions. Some assignments will be like 22 questions. Some will be like 5 questions. It just kind of depends. I tried not to make them too overwhelming. So this one's 22 questions, but most of the questions are fairly simple. Okay, so on this particular one, so here they're asking us to factor this, and so you would just put your answer in right there. Now let's say that you're like, you know what, I'm not sure how to do this one. The most popular question help that students use is view an example. So what they'll do is they'll click this, and an example will come up, and you can kind of work both problems side by side. So you just kind of continue, and you look at this example and you could work your other problem on your own paper as you're kind of watching this and reading the explanation. So go ahead and close that. So that's probably the most popular tool I see students use. There's also video. Not all of them have videos. I'd say maybe half or so. I'm not positive, but I think it's around half the questions have videos. Now, I will tell you the videos are kind of hit and miss. Sometimes they're great. Sometimes it's kind of interesting. It doesn't seem like it's not the same exact type problem. And so sometimes that can be a little frustrating. Um, this one looks pretty similar to the one we're working. It's not exactly the same though. So that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's a similar question, but it's not identical to the question that you're working, but that can be helpful. And then here, there's also an animation one. It's kind of like the video. It's just kind of animation working through it step by step. And then there's this one, Ask My Instructor. So if you click on this, it generates an email. You don't even have to put my address in. It's already there. And you write me a little question or just, say, hey, I'm having a hard time understanding this one. Can you give me a little help? And just send it, and it will actually send me a picture of what problem you're on, so I'll know exactly what you're working with. And so feel free to use that as much as you want. Okay. Um, Sometimes the first time you use it, it goes to my spam, and so then once I tell my email, let these come through, then I'll be able to get through to you pretty quick. I try to respond within 24 hours on any of these emails. Okay. So I think that's pretty much it for my math lab. I mean, there's a little bit of a learning curve with it, but to be honest, I've surveyed students. They really like the program because you get your results right away. Oh, I got that homework question right or I got it wrong. And like I said, there's a learning curve, so sometimes you might get a little frustrated with the way they want your answers. And whenever that does happen, I have made some videos where I kind of explain uh, how to put your answers in. A lot of times, the ones that kind of can get a little frustrating are the graphing problems. Um, but I will supply some tutorials on how to input those answers. But for the most part, it's a great program. And so, if you have any questions or concerns, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out and ask for some help.